Hey, welcome back. We are fresh off of a snow week. We came in Monday and Tuesday, and then of course with the weather coming in Wednesday, the schools and the courthouse was closed Wednesday, Thursday, and part of the day Friday. We opened up at 12 on Friday. We didn't miss anything because we had had 2 weeks of court. And we finally got back to a schedule that really works well for Horry and Georgetown counties. And I think that it is understated how much scheduling matters. The end of last year, from August to December, we had 24 weeks of court in 26 weeks. And we were constantly in court. But what really works for us is 2 judges week 1, 2 judges week 2, and it's sort of stacked, like Judge A and B and Judge C and D, week of February 1st, week of February 8th. And then the rest of February, the attorneys, the public defenders, the prosecutors can get ready for March. But if you're in court every week, it was very difficult, if not impossible, to do that. So last week, even though the courthouse was closed, we missed out on, we were not going to be in court anyway. We missed out on our phone conversations and our meeting with victims and our meeting with police officers. But we have the opportunity to do that again this week, and it is a often overlooked just how important structure is. We've got a new administration at our in Columbia for the Supreme Court, and they sort of have helped us with court administration. Now, there's a little bit of carryover. For example, one of the first 2 weeks of February, we got 4 judges that are coming into town during 1 week. That's 4 courtrooms, and we are still, we've got 35 attorneys between Horry and Georgetown, so it's going to be a strain on us. It's going to be a bigger strain on the public defender's office to try to manage that many terms of court. But for the most part, it's that pattern that we've been looking at, and we've really been able to get a lot more to that. The Supreme Court sent out something last week that is going to sort of merge the two of those concepts together, where they will set aside 75% as a base all across the state, based on the last few years and how it's worked best. And then we would be able to fill in that other 25% so that we can sort of pair it up and get out of court on those times that we shouldn't be in there. So we've sort of struggled with that, but the Supreme Court has been really good to allow us to do whatever works best for our area. And because of that, in years past, the last 4 or 5 years, it just felt like January was off to a kind of a rocky start. You're off so much around Christmas and the holidays, and then you it's like a herd of turtles coming out of the starting line in January. But this year we're off 2 weeks in trial, 2 murder trials. February we've got 2 murder trials scheduled back to back. We've really cut into those. At this point last year, I think we had over 80 pending murder trials, and we whittled that down to less than 40 now. So we've still got some a ways to go, but we have really cut into those numbers, and it's been a lot of hard work. But as long as it's structured halfway fairly, you can take advantage of the time that you've got both in court but out of court. And if one of those if you've got too much court time, it sounds crazy, but too much court time could be a bad thing. When I was talking to the Chief Justice about just this very fact, I said, have you ever noticed that the Patriots only play once a week? Well, it's all about money in the NFL. Why don't we make the Patriots play Monday night and Sunday and Tuesday? At some point, they got to practice and get ready for the Packers the next week. So you got to have time out to be able to do that and to be able to churn in that next thing. And that's been a much needed blessing. We're only 1 month into it, but of course the proof's in the pudding. 2 very difficult cases gone in the first 2 weeks. And we want to keep our pedal to the metal. We want to keep striving to use our time efficiently. And one way to do that is to go out and be able to be prepared. And you can really tell a difference when a person is walking out of a down week into a court week as opposed to out of one trial and straight into another. It's just really hard to wrap your head around all of that. There's a lot of moving parts. It doesn't start and stop with the jury. We tease all the time, but when you send out a wish list of 35 subpoenas, 34 of those people are going to have something that they had rather be doing than coming to court. And it is that is a battle, and it takes a few minutes with each one of those to get them in the right place. And some of those people are out of state, especially for Horry and the northern part of Georgetown County. We got a lot of tourists. A lot of the witnesses might be tourists. A lot of people are from other parts of the state and other parts of the country. So it's been especially tough on us. Even when you get outside of the local police, it's still pretty difficult. But it is much more manageable this year than it was last year and the year before. And we hope to be able to make everybody proud by being able to come in and do the kind of work that we're capable of doing, instead of walking out of one fight and straight into another. But if you don't believe that that a system doesn't make a big difference, try rolling a square bowling ball. It's not going to be nearly as efficient. But once that sucker broke the code and made it all round, people can bowl strikes left and right, and it's part of what's baked into this whole thing. So we'll be back using this week to catch up and get ready for February. And again, we've got 2 murder trials back to back. And I think in total it's 6 judges, but 4 of them will be here in 1 week. So February will be a little bit different, but we'll get through it, and already planning and have scheduled out for March.